Yo, what's up guys? In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how the Chicago Bulls don't see Lauri Markkanen as a long-term fit with Nikola Vucevic, and they're also looking at NBA teams that have shown interest in him. You know, this was a tweet that I saw. Shout out to Daniel Greenberg and Keith Smith NBA for putting this out during the trade deadline, and I wanted to make a video on it. Sorry, I've been kind of busy these past few days because this is a very interesting topic that I haven't seen anyone cover or really talk about since. You know, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel and leave a quick like on today's video. It helps me out. You know, I'm going to be covering every Chicago Bulls topic and just rumor that it comes out every day and all throughout the season. You guys aren't going to want to miss it. Definitely check out my last video if you guys missed it as well. I was talking about how the Chicago Bulls are likely going to be interested in Dennis Schroeder this offseason if they can't sign Lonzo Ball. But either way, let's just jump right into today's video because, like I said, I haven't seen anyone talk about this, and this is a big topic involving the Chicago Bulls and Lauri Markkanen's future with the team. You know, according to Daniel Greenberg and Keith Smith, the Chicago Bulls don't see a Lauri Markkanen and Nikola Vucevic front court working, and neither do I. I mean, Nikola has only been with the Bulls for about 3 to 4 games now. You know, the first game, him and Lauri Markkanen started together. They both didn't play that well. They're just, I mean, on the offensive end, they could be deadly, but even on the offensive end, they really don't fit well together, I'd say. And on the defensive end, it's a murder scene. You know, teams just abuse them in the paint. It's just not pretty. And then in the second game, Lauri Markkanen got benched. And then that's kind of what I expected, especially with Lauri Markkanen expecting like $20 million plus this offseason. You know, it could help the Bulls if they do want to re-sign him, but there's been a lot of trade rumors on Lauri Markkanen for months now. And then the third game versus the Suns, you know, he started due to a Zach LaVine injury. And him and Nikola just didn't fit that well, and the Chicago Bulls don't believe they're long-term fits as well, and neither do I. Especially because Lauri Markkanen's first 15 games this season, he was very solid, don't get me wrong. In his first 15, you know, this whole season's been up and down for him, and that's the main problem with Markkanen is injuries. Of course, he had some COVID issues earlier, you know, he was in close contact, so he missed a few games. But other than that, he's always inconsistent and either hurt. And his first 15 games to start the season, he was very, very solid. You know, I was happy with these numbers. He was pretty much putting up 19 points a game, shooting pretty much 53% from the field, and also shooting 44% from three. And he also shot 44% on 5 wide open three-pointers a game. You know, that's solid numbers. Those are numbers that could possibly get him, I'd say, $20 million this offseason. But ever since the Bulls traded for Nikola and these past 10 games, Markkanen has really been struggling, and he even went to the bench. Who knows, you know, if he's going to be starting maybe in the future or just a bench player. Either way, Markkanen's last 10 games, he's really been struggling. He's only been putting up 14 points a game, shooting 41% from the field, and only 32% from deep, which those numbers are just not going to get it done, especially if you're wanting $20 million in this upcoming offseason class. Especially, you know, I'd say Markkanen's only, strong point in his game is being a knockdown shooter. And if he's only shooting 32% from three, it's not going to get the job done, especially when the Bulls have 2 All-Stars. And teams are now going to be doubling Nikola and Zach, I'd say, all throughout the night. So these players are going to need to make those wide open threes. And not only is Markkanen only shooting 32% from three, and he's also only shooting 36% on pretty much 5 wide open threes per game. That's just not going to get it done. And I've also seen some stats saying the Chicago Bulls' record with a healthy Lauri Markkanen this season has been terrible. The Chicago Bulls have had a record of 8-17 when Lauri Markkanen has played this season, and I know it's a small sample size, but when he hasn't played, the Bulls are 11-9. You know, I was high on Markkanen, I really am, but I do believe it's time to move on from him, and the Bulls seem to agree with me. I'm really surprised we didn't trade him at the trade deadline. He just doesn't fit with this team, especially because I'd say Markkanen's like main position in the NBA nowadays is a small ball 5 that can stretch the floor. The Bulls replaced him with Nikola, and same with Daniel Theis. He's more of a center, and I mean, he could play the 4. I mean, Daniel Theis has been amazing in the few games he's played with the Bulls. He's already like a fan favorite, I'd say, but the more I think about it, Markkanen really doesn't fit with the Bulls, and he really just creates more problems than solutions for us. I just see him as a three-point shooter. You know, when he's aggressive, he's solid, but still not worth $20 million a season, I'd say. And like I said, going back to the trade deadline, there was months, I'd say months, just months on months of trade rumors involving Lauri Markkanen and the Chicago Bulls shopping him. I've made many videos on that. Like I said, I'm really surprised we didn't trade him at the trade deadline. I wanted to because I'd rather him not possibly get overpaid this offseason. I mean, the Bulls can do a sign and trade, but I'd see that as very unlikely. It's just hard to negotiate that. I either see Markkanen getting overpaid from a bad team like the Knicks or such, or I could possibly see him just walking for nothing in free agency. So that's why I was down for trading him at the trade deadline. You know, like I said, I made a video before the trade deadline saying the Bulls are officially done with Wendell Carter Jr. and Lauri Markkanen. And I know I got some hate on that, but it was the truth, man. This 4-5 position just wasn't working with those two, and I'm happy the Bulls are finally moving on, it's looking like. And also at the trade deadline, according to a Washington Wizards reporter, Washington was very interested in acquiring Lauri Markkanen as part of the deal. However, the Wizards couldn't get him because the Bulls wanted a first-round pick for Lauri Markkanen, but I did hear the deal was very close to getting done. You know, I'm just kind of over Markkanen. I'm happy we traded Wendell. I still wish him the best in Orlando. I see he's putting up some solid games, so I'm happy with that. But it was just time for the Bulls to move on from Wendell, and I truly believe Lauri Markkanen is next. I just don't see him really being that useful for the Chicago Bulls. Like I said, he creates more problems than solutions for us. He's nothing more than just a solid three-point shooter. I wouldn't say he's a knockdown shooter. He's supposed to be, you know, that's what teams think he is. But if you really watch his game and when he struggles, he's really not. He just kind of goes through hot streaks through the season. Like his first 15 games, he started out hot. And then his last 10, he's really struggled. And this is what's happened, I'd say, for the past few years with Lauri. He's never consistent. He's never healthy. It's just time to move on. I'm happy that the Chicago Bulls are finally seeing this. Like I said, I wish we could have got a deal done at the trade deadline, possibly get something in return for him. You know, say he does walk this season and the Bulls get nothing. But I understand taking a chance at him, but it doesn't help that I'd say he's now a bench player for the Bulls if, of course, Zach's healthy. So it's not looking good for the Bulls and Lauri Markkanen. Like I said, I was super high on him when the Bulls drafted him. I gave him a couple years, but it's just time to move on. We just can't keep waiting for him to be, I'd say, consistent and healthy and be the power forward that we wish we could have drafted. Same with Wendell. You know, we just couldn't have kept waiting throughout all these years and injuries. I'm happy the Bulls finally moved on from him. And I truly expect Lauri Markkanen to be the next Chicago Bull that gets moved or just walks in this upcoming offseason class. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Definitely leave some comments and questions below today's video about if you guys want the Bulls to keep Lauri Markkanen. You know, I already see $20 million too much for him, especially for, I'd say, a young talent that's very, I'd say, injury prone kind of, and he's always inconsistent. And he's nothing more than a three-point shooter in my eyes. He doesn't rebound the ball well. He has no post game. He's not the best passer. He really just kind of sits around the three-point arc and chucks up threes. And there's nothing wrong with that, but he's not worth $20 million a season, especially if he's coming off the bench now as well. I don't know. This whole situation is going to be interesting in this upcoming offseason class. Definitely leave some comments and questions below today's video if you guys want the Bulls to possibly sign and trade Lauri Markkanen or re-sign him in this upcoming offseason. Thank you guys for watching today's video. Have a good one.